Hello everyone, good morning and good evening to all. Let us start our today's session. I hope everyone has practiced our previous session, and if not completed, kindly practice and send me the answers. So by this week, we'll be completing most of the concept. Okay, so most probably we'll complete all our technical part, our IICS related one by this Thursday. Then remaining, we will have like a project related stuff. So I will explain other concepts related to projects. Okay, so in our today's session, we will talk about task flow. So what is this task flow? So we all know that in Informatica Power Center, so there is a difference, right, between Informatica Power Center and the IICS. So if you take left-hand side is Informatica Power Center and right-hand side is our IICS. So there is a difference, right? So the naming convention wise. So if you take here in Informatica Power Center, so in Informatica Power Center and IICS, okay. So in Informatica Power Center, we have the mapping, right? So we have mapping. So it will be M underscore. So here also it should be a mapping. So in IICS also mapping, but Informatica Power Center, we cannot run mapping alone. But here in IICS, we can run mapping alone. Normally, if you ask in real-time project whether we will deploy mapping alone, no, we will take mapping task. And if I want to include some task, we'll go for task flow only. Okay. And if you see this mapping, and we'll go for session here, right? For to run a mapping, we need to have a session. We will provide the connections, all this will go for, and here we'll go for task, mapping task. Right? We have other task and we have the different task, replication task, other task, but we have for session, we have mapping task. So mapping task. So mapping here also M underscore only. And here it is workflow. So here it is task flow. Okay. So task flow. These are all the difference. So normally here the mapping name we will use M underscore. In IICS also it should be M underscore. Okay. And session we will take S underscore M underscore S underscore the mapping name. So here it is a MCT. Okay. So mapping configuration task or mapping task or MTT underscore. Some project they will use MTT. Okay. And here workflow, we will call it as it's a WF, right? So WF underscore or WKF underscore. So here it is like task flow. So task flow, we will call it as here TF. Okay. So TF underscore. But here we have worklet, right? We have worklet and reusable session we have. And here we do not have any reusable session on worklet. So here we have worklet. But here we'll go for task flow, same task flow only. So task flow inside you'll go for one more task flow. So one task flow. So this will act as like a worklet. So equal to worklet here. So we'll create one task flow. Inside one task flow, we'll create one more task flow. So that will act as a worklet. Okay, so we do not have any worklet concept in IICS. Okay. So maplet we have, yes, we have maplet here. We do have maplet here. So we have maplet. So here also maplet we have, right? Maplet, reusable component, but reusable session we have, but we do not have any reusable session. We'll go for maplet only and task flow only. So these are all the difference between IICS and Power Center. So just you can refer this one. Okay. The same way, if you take task flow, so we do have 7 different task flows in IICS. So what are the different task flows we have? So we have task flow Like first one, linear task flow. Okay, the linear task flow. So these are like a template. Okay, linear task flow and parallel task with the decisions, sequential task with the decision, and single task. So these are like template. And this task flow, we can customize it. So here also we can customize, but it comes like a template. Okay, but here task flow, we'll go for, we will, we can configure it. And inside the task flow, we have different task step. So what is the task step? We have different task step here. Assignment task, data task, notification task. It's like in email. The notification task is nothing but email here. Okay, email and file watcher. It's like a event task, right? And subtask. So the subtask only I told, right? It's a task flow we have. Inside the task flow, you can have the one more task. And decision task, wait, parallel task, jump, throw, and command task. Throw is nothing but your, so it's like a control task in Power Center. Okay, command task. So here we have to use command like a batch command. So why? Because in our local machine, everything is running on the Windows machine, that we have to use command, Windows command, but in real time, we will use Unix or Linux commands. Okay. So these are all the task steps we have. Okay, we will see one by one. So these are all the first we will complete this templates. It's very simple, but we will not go for these templates actually. Directly you can go for task flow. So what is this template? So for that, you need to have some task. So we'll check whether we do have task or not. I'll go to data integration. Okay, so you can go to data integration here. You can go to explore. We'll check whether we have the task. Okay, so we do not have any task here. Okay, so I will create some task here. Okay, so we do have some mapping here. For this, we will create some task so that we can use this particular task in our task flow. Okay, so this one we have one task. So fixed with file for the this one. Okay, so I will create one task flow. I will go for mapping and I will create one mapping task. So we can create mapping task. So all this different task, right? So I can go for mapping task, runtime environment. I can choose mapping here. So this is the one, right? Just I will choose, go for, so I do not want anything here. Just I can finish it. Okay, so just I have created two tasks. And I will create one more task here. I'll go for one more task. Replication task I will create. So different task, that's it. Okay, so replication task. So we have some different tasks here, but yes, I will create one replication task. So just one or two components I'll use. So just two tables I want to create. Go for next. And this is our connection for target and replication task. Okay. So simply I'm just creating one because already table is available. I'll go for next. Data filters. Finish it. Okay, just I have created one replication task. If you want a different task, you can create. Okay, so more task you can create. And I'll go for the task flow. So new, here we have the task flow. If you see this task flow, we have different task flow, right? So in the asset, you can find task flow. So one is linear task flow. Another one is task flow, parallel task with addition, sequential task with addition. But normally we will go for task flow directly. Okay. Create control flow logic to run multiple data integration task. But I will tell you how to do that linear task flow. So linear task flow means we cannot add any task step. So we cannot add any task step. So we can, if you have more task and if you want to run all the task in sequential way, you can run it in the linear task flow. Then you may ask questions. Then what is the difference between linear task flow and sequential task? The sequential task, you can add task step, but linear task flow, you cannot add any task step. So that's a difference here. And yeah, so here if you see, we'll go for, this is the linear task flow. Okay, linear task flow 1, I'm just creating. It will ask you to add task. So you can add task here. I want to add a task. So just you can add task here. So this is one task I have added. I'm going to add one more task. Okay, so just I'm adding the task. The second task I'm adding, and the third task I'm adding. If you see this, I'm just adding linearly other tasks. So you can have any other task. So you can see the mapping task and replication task, and if you want to have synchronization task, other task, you can have it. See what is the order of sequence it will run. This is the order of sequence it will run. We want to make stop on errors. So you can enable the stop on errors, stop on warning also. If you want to run, if any warnings is happening, you have to stop. So that you can go for. And you want to schedule it, you can schedule it. And you want to have some email, write some email you can put. But this is a predefined email. Here we cannot customize. Okay, so here we cannot customize. It's a predefined one. So I will just make this. Sorry. I'm just giving the email ID here. If anything failure or warning or success, so it should send a mail. So if you want to change the order, right? So you can just edit the numbers. So instead of 1, 2, 3, you can go for any other number. That means if I want to make this as 2, this one is 2, this one is 1. If you're changing it, yes, it will be changed. So I'm going to run this. All the 3 tasks will run in sequential way, linear. If you see this inside, you have that 3 subtasks and go inside. So one by one, it will be running. Status you can see here one by one based on the order we have mentioned. Right? So we have mentioned order first, the second, third. The same way here also it will be running. Yes, first one completed. Then you'll have the second one. It's completed. So third one started running. So replication task inside we have 2 different tasks. It will be running one by one. Okay. So here we do not have any conditions, all this, but link conditions we have. That is what task flow I will tell you. Okay, but here we do not have any task. Okay, so we'll see here it is running now. Once it is completed, I will get an email here, right? Yes. So I will get an email here, right? So linear task flow completed successfully. So that's what I'm getting. See all the task flow names has been mentioned here. 27 success rows, full load, and 3 success rows, and 10 success rows, and how many rows has been processed, what is the start time, end time, results. So everything will be captured here, right? So if you want to have email at the end of the flow, you can use this email. Okay, this way you can put email. Okay, this email, this task flow. Okay, and the linear task flow, as I told, linear task flow, you cannot add any task step. So you cannot add any task step. So you need to create multiple tasks. So what is the order we have to run? Say for an example, session you have, right? So you have the session. Okay, in workflow, you have the start button, right? So once it is completed, you have to run the session 1. Once this is completed, you have to run the session 2. Once this is completed, run session 3. So this way I have to go for linearly. But I cannot add any other step here. Okay. So simply it will start the task in linearly. You cannot do any other task step. This is what linear task flow. The sequential task flow, it's a different. I'll tell you. So go to new. I hope you are clear. If you want to change the order of the execution, you can do. Go to linear task flow. You can edit it. So inside the task flow, you can edit. So here, if you go to edit, okay. So if you edit it, you can see this, the order. Say for an example, I want to run this in third order. This is second, right? You can just edit and then save. If you save, replication task will be on a 2, right? You can see here replication task is on the 2. But I cannot add any other conditions here apart from scheduling, apart from email task, right? So this is what we'll have this way. Okay. So here, this is what linear task flow. Clear? Linear task flow. Okay. So I'll go for next task flow. Next one, task flow. The sequential task or parallel task. Okay, we'll go for parallel task. Then we'll go for sequential. Parallel task flow. Is there any option if one session succeeded, go to another session? That's what. See, we'll go one by one. Okay, we'll go one by one. Task flow, we have all this. Okay. Yes, that's what. See, this is very basic only. I'm not teaching very complex one. If you want to run, you have multiple tasks. If you want to run in sequential, you have to create a linear task flow. Do you have any doubt, Pradeep? You have any doubt in this? You have created multiple tasks. Okay, there is no relation between Power Center and IICS. In IICS, you have created multiple tasks. Okay, you want to run all the tasks in sequential order without any other task step. Then go for linear task flow. Any doubts? Okay, so no need to have Power Center knowledge for this. You have any doubt? Yeah, you have to put some effort. Okay, you have to put some effort for Power Center, all this. Why? Because you are going to work on the environment where Power Center and IICS both will exist. Okay, definitely in another 1 or 2 years, more than that also, Power Center definitely they'll be using it. If you don't know Power Center, please watch my Power Center sessions, learn it. Okay, don't say like you do not know Power Center. So it will not be work out in real time project. Okay, so they will ask you to learn. So that time you will find difficulties. Okay, so yeah, you have to put your effort to learn by yourself. So you cannot say I do not know Power Center. So Power Center you have to learn. So why? Because for most of the projects are Power Center to IICS migration only. Okay, you have to open Power Center flow. It will be like brand new IICS development or whatever we have in Power Center that should be recreated in IICS. This is the way we will you work on. So that time you have to work on Power Center. You have to see the logic and everything. So that should be converted into IICS workflow also. So that time definitely it will be there for another 2 to 3 years. Power Center will be there definitely. So you have to learn Power Center. Okay, so you cannot say I do not know Power Center. Okay, so this is what parallel task flow. Sorry, this is what the parallel task flow. So I will create here. I have created parallel task flow. If you see this task flow, before the linear task flow which we have seen. Okay, so I'm going to take task flow underscore parallel task. Okay, parallel task. And if you see this, we have the start button and the end, we have end button, right? In Power Center, we do not have any end button, but here we have end. In IICS, we have end. So where should I end it? So definitely you'll have start and end. So within the start and end, this parallel task. So for an example, you have created two different tasks. Task one, task two. It might be a replication task or synchronization task, data transfer task, or simply a mapping task. Any task you have created already. Mapping is different, mapping task is different, task flow is different. Okay. In the task flow, you have to run those two tasks in parallel. For an example, not only two tasks you want to run, you have many dimensional tables. Okay, dimension table load. So table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, you have 4-dimension table. All the 4 tables doesn't have any dependency. You have to run in parallel. Once all 4 completed, you have to start with your fact load. Okay, or another dimension table, dependent dimension table here. Okay, so that we have to run it. So in that case, you can go for parallel path. Start button, then parallel path, then data task 1. Data task 1. If you open this data task 1, below you can see the data task name. Okay. If you want to rename it, you can rename data task. Which task I'm going to have here? So you can click on select here and you can choose whatever the task you want. See here, Power Center task, data transfer task, and mapping task. All this is listing down, right? So you can take any task. So just I'm taking this task. Okay. And so you can go for this task where it is available. Everything uh, it will be listing down here, right? Yes. So it will be captured. Okay, in the runtime. So what is your run ID, log ID, task status? Everything will be captured. So if you want, you can use it out of this. Okay, input field. You want to give any input to this task? Yes, you can give. But this one we will see clearly in the task flow. Event. Okay, if you want to trigger something, yes, you can create an event. So this event also I will tell you in the task flow. Error handling, stop error handling. On warning, you have to ignore. Okay, so ignore the entire task flow. You want to ignore? No. Suspend the task flow. That means if any warning is happening this particular task, suspend it immediately. On error, suspend the task. So just you have to mention here, fail the task flow on completion. If this task fails, normally we'll give, right? If this task fails, fail the task flow on completion. Okay, finally you have to fail it, your task flow, then your support team will look at why it has been failed, what is error, all this. See, normally we will select this option. Okay, so here we have chosen this particular task, right? We have chosen this particular task. You can copy this task name. You can go to the general here, you can paste it here. So why? Because it will be there like data task 1, task 2. You may not know what is this task, but now you know, right? Same way you can go to this data task 2, and even you can click on the plus symbol. Click on the plus symbol. It will ask you to select. So you can select the task here. Okay, so I'm going to take this task. Okay, data transfer task or synchronization task. So I think I can take here. So sometimes we should not load the same task like in the same table. Don't run it in parallel. Okay, same table. For an example, this is also loading T underscore employees table. This is also loading T underscore employees table. Don't do on parallel. Okay, so you have to go for sequential. So select it, go for data transfer, copy this and go to the general and you can provide here. Okay, so just we have created two different tasks, both are in parallel. See, this is called a link task. Okay, the link task, but here we will not do any link. So just to delete it. See, this is the one, but here we will not do any link, but I will tell you where to link all this. So this is the parallel one. Just two parallel tasks. That's it. So these two will run in parallel. Okay. Before that, we have seen linear task flow, but here parallel task flow. But what is the difference here? Say for an example here, the left hand side, you are seeing all the different step, right? So if you want to use any step here, you can use it. I want to send a notification. Once this is completed, I want to send a notification, right? So I can put here. So take this and use it, this one. But I'm not doing this. This is a parallel task and I will go for directly run. No need to publish it. If it is process, if it is CAI process application, you have to publish it. Okay. So go to run. These two will be running in parallel. Okay. If you go inside, you can see the status like this. So you can see this is like a monitor, right? Which one is running? It will show you like this. If you are seeing that this mark, it represents it is running now. Okay, you can refresh. You can see this has been completed. Then it is going to this two flow. Then these two has been completed. Then it is ending it, right? You will be seeing that. So you remember we have seen that different entries, right? Different entries on this. So you have the status, error, start date, end date, duration, started by. All this you are able to see here, data task. So this is what it will be captured at the end of the session. See, all this will be captured here, right? So input, if you have any input, temporary variable, everything will be captured here. But for an example, these two has been completed, right? Has been completed, even it has been sent to mail also. Mapping task, this has been completed. So inside the mapping task, we had some mail. That's what it sent a mail. Okay, so now, yeah, I will come to the third question. Okay, so for an example, these two has been completed. If you want to see the subtask, so you can go inside, you can see this task. Both are completed. How many records has been inserted? You can go inside and then you can check here, right? See, this is what you can check. And if you want to download the session log, all this. So I'm going with parallel task here. So what is the parallel task? So you want to run more than one task in parallel, you can go for the parallel task. Okay. For an example, I want to go for 3 to 4 tasks in parallel. Okay. If you click on the plus symbol, if you open it, it will ask you, so how many parallel path you want to have? Parallel path 0, parallel path 1, keep the cursor here. So add one more parallel path. Okay, new path. So just add it here. Okay. And go to this, you'll be seeing 4 different paths, right? So now you are seeing the 4 different paths. So you want to take the data transfer task here. Yes, any task you can take. So I want to take the data transfer task, data integration task. Take this. So take this data integration task. Okay. And you can keep the cursor here. You can open it. And for an example, I want to take this one. Select this one. Okay. Select another one. Okay. So just I'm selecting this one. So different task I have created. Okay. So open it. This one. I will take Power Center task 1 and I'll go for this one and task 2 and take this. Go here. You can use this way. Okay, so we have created 4 different tasks. This is parallel task. So that's what I told. This is what parallel task. When to use parallel task, when to use sequential task? If there is no dependency. Okay, if there is no dependency on these tables, you have star schema, snowflake schema, right? Star schema or snowflake schema. In the star schema, you do have multiple tables, right? See, inside you have the one fact table. You have many dimension table here, right? Many dimension tables are there in the design, right? See, this dimension table, if there is no dependency, all the 6 tables, you can run it in parallel. For an example, it's in Snowflake schema. So here you have one table, here you have one table. So this table is connected with this table here. This table is connected with this table. Then this is what you have. All the tables are connected. Okay, like this. See, these are all the outer dimension table. Then we have inner dimension table. See, these are all dimension table here. And this is a Snowflake schema, right? So they're going for normalization process. So in this case, so how to design the task flow? Okay, so this is centralized fact table. So in this case, how can you design the task flow? First step, okay, the first one, you can do these two parallel tasks. Okay, first one, you can do these two dimension table in parallel. So there should not be any dependency. Then you can do these two in parallel. Once these two has been completed, you can have one more parallel flow here. Okay, you can take one more parallel flow, right? Yes, you can take, but you see, this is the way you have to take here. If you want to go for one more parallel flow, yes, you can go for parallel flow here. Okay. Here you can go for another 6 tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if it has any dependency, you can put based on the dependency. So second order, right? You assume that there is no dependency. In second data flow, you can make all the 6 tables parallelly. Okay. Each table we have one task. You assume that. Once this is completed, third step, that is our third stage to go for this fact table load. Clear. But even if you're going for real-time project, you will be having a lot of source team dependency also. Okay, you have to check whether source team they have loaded the data or not. You'll be placing some event wait. Okay, so all this you'll be checking. So whether file has been arrived, you're taking the data from file, then file has been arrived. So all this you can place some wait here, even wait. So all this you can put file watcher, all this. Clear now? See, these are all sequential tasks. You can if you want to have sequential task or parallel task. See, the outer one to 6 1 is sequential. One, then next one. Clear. Inside this parallel. Okay, this parallel, next one is sequential. For this one to this one is sequential. For all the 4 is parallel. Clear? But this is parallel task flow only. But while taking the task flow, I will tell you how to make sequential parallel task flow. Now, if I'm going to run it, all the 6 will be running in parallel. You're clear, right? Any doubts? What is a parallel task flow? But normally no need to create parallel task flow. You can directly go to the task flow and create it. Okay, directly you go to the task and create it. It has been completed. You have 4 tasks. So you can see that all the 4 tasks has been completed successfully. Okay, clear on this? If you go to this, if you go and check here, see all the 4 tasks has been completed successfully in parallel. That's it. Okay, so but make sure that all the tables are uh, independent tables, not dependent tables. Okay, so then we have other task. Okay, so I will tell you, that's what I told. This is a task. Okay, you want to create a linear task flow here. That is linear task flow. That is not task. Okay, here you can select task only, not task flow. This is linear task flow. If you want to create a task flow inside the task, you have to go for subtask here, right? So you have to take the subtask. For an example here, I told, right, it's like a worklet. That's what, see, give me some time, I will explain, then ask your doubts. All this I will explain. Okay, so here I have to create subtask flow, but task flow you should have created already. So there is no task flow in this particular folder. It is showing this. So I can go with any other task flow. No. Okay, so we do not have any task flow here. So that just I'm not taking this. You can remove. Okay, so we'll go to this is parallel task flow. Okay, task flow, you can take task only. Clear? Okay, so now we will go to the next one. This is linear task flow, parallel task with decision, sequential task. I will go to the sequential task. So I will tell you what is the difference between the sequential task and the parallel task. Okay, the sequential task, you can add any task step. In linear task flow, you will not find this task step. Okay, that's a different. You can see here task flow 1, data task 2. Once this is completed, this will be executed. Okay, and we have next one. This is similar. Okay, so even if I'm going to load the task, it will be running in this way. Parallel task with decision. So if you see this parallel task with decision, so you'll be seeing there's two different tasks. You can have the decision here. Okay, I want to decide where should I go this, right? So I will take this parallel task. So I will remove more number of tasks here. I will remove this. So parallel path also I will remove. So because multiple path is having will take a lot of time. Okay, so here I'm going to take a decision. So parallel task with decision task. So you can take the decision here. So this is what you can have the decision, right? Parallel task with decision. This is what it will have. So based on the resultant of these two, you can create a decision. Okay, I want to go for this way or I want to go for this way, right? It's based on the one. So for an example here, I will take this flat file. This status I will take. Both status you can take. Both status if you want to, both the status is success, you have to go this way. If both failed, you have to go this way. Something. But I will take this one. For both status, you have to use something like assignment task. I will tell you assignment task later. But I will take this task alone now. Okay. For example, this task I'm taking. Go to decision task here. This is what the decisions. Okay, you can choose here. So for this decision task, there are two inputs, right? One is from this mapping task, another one is from this mapping task. So I'm just selecting this one. We have the task properties parameters, output parameters, and fault. Fault means error. So if you open this task properties parameter, you can see parameters file directory. It's like if I want to read any parameter for this task, and I can, you want to read, I have to mention here. Okay. So parameter I will take later. And if you see the output parameters, so these are all output parameters, right? So you remember we have in link task, you'll be having a task status, the task ID, success rows, right? Task failure rows, all this you'll be having it. Failed rows, success rows, the end time, error message. So all this will be captured. Okay, I will go for task status. So task status contains otherwise, right? So I'll go for, instead of contains, I'll go for equals. If the task status equal to 1, 1 means success. Okay, if it is success, it will go to this one. If the task is failed, then it will go to this flow. Okay, so in the equals 1, I will use, you can use any task, just I will use notification task. Okay, just I will use notification task. So here I will take the notification task This one I will make success email. Okay. Success email for this particular task, task 1. Okay. Task 1, success email. So here I will take one more task, task 1, failure email. Okay. Just I have renamed. Open this. This is what you can customize it. Okay. You can open this task, can go to the details. You can see here. So to whom I have to send a mail. I have to send a mail. So to CC, BCC, subject, all this we can place. So 12 at rediffmail.com. Okay. So CC, BCC, subject, task 1. See, just I'm making the task 1, but you have to give relevant name. Task 1 has been completed successfully. Okay, this is what you can customize. Email type, you can go for HTML if you want to have formatted email. So formatted email means you will have some this way formatted one. Then you have to go for this formatted email, HTML. If you go for plain text, it will have only text. So email body, you want to write some field formulas. Based on the formula you want to go for. I will go for content, edit content here. So you can see here, so I want to add some field, task properties, output parameters, task status. Okay, how many success rows, failed rows, all this. Okay, so hi team, just I'm making that hi team. The task is completed successfully. Okay. So I want to make how many success rows. So I will add. See, this is what it will automatically take. If you see the success email or failure email or anything. But if you want to go for, you want to write some customized one, you can write it this way. Okay, success rows. I want to take, this will take a runtime, right? Run success row, source side and target side. So I'll go for target success rows. I want to know how many record has been inserted. I'll go here. Instead of this, I'll go for, yes, this is the one. Failure one. So how many total transformation errors? Failed target rows. You can add this one. Okay. It will be captured here. Okay. So this is what they have given us of now. So normally we'll have log, right? Log will be attached all this, but here there is no log as of now. Okay. There might be adding logs. Okay. So even they have improved a lot in this Taskflow recently. Click on OK here and I'll save this. I'll go for the task 2 content. I'll go for this one. I'll use the email ID 12 at rediffmail.com. Okay. So you'll use this way and edit content. Same way you can edit the content. Hi team. the task is failed. Please check. So you can make, yeah, we will see the formulas and everything later. So just I have used. See why? Because instead of having any other task, if you want any other task, you can have. So you can have subtask flow. You can have any other task, ingestion task, or ingestion task is for CI. Okay, so I want to make a continuous integration. And here you have command task, notification task. So this is like integration ops task. Okay, it's like CI one. Data integration task, assignment task, anything you can place. Just I have placed mail task. Okay, to uh, to give you a demo. So just I have taken mail task. See if you see this. Okay, I got an email. Got an email here. So this is for task level we have given. So this is one we have created, right? Okay, total success rows 106. Dynamically it is taking. There is no failure one. Thanks support team. So task one is completed successfully. That's what we have got the mail. That means if you see this, I'm just refreshing it. Okay. So these two has been completed and it is going to the first task, right? This is not triggered this one, second one, the parallel one. Why? Because we have made the condition here, right? Status. So this is what we have made the conditions. Based on the conditions, it is flowing to this one and this one. Okay, success. And we are seeing this. So one status equal to one, that means success, right? So they are giving, it is not success, they are giving assigning a value one. Okay, if it is failed, then you will be having a 0. Okay, so otherwise you can put this way, status 1, 2, 3. But if you want to assign some other value, yes, you can put some other value here. Okay, so you want to assign some other value, you can go for assignment task. Okay, clear? Task, parallel task, are you clear? Parallel task with relation task. Same way, sequential task with relation task. Linear task. Linear task flow. Any doubt on this task flow? Linear task flow, parallel with relation, and sequential task, sequential with relations. Same way we'll have sequential task with relation task. So these two will be running. Once it is completed, we will have the addition task here. Okay, based on this, it will go for this way or this flow. But we do have a lot of other concept. I will tell you the task flow. Any questions here now? You are clear, right? So what is this task flow? All this. Is it possible to add another addition task? A parallel task with addition. Okay, so 1 minute. So where you want to add parallel task? You want to add here? Parallel task you can add here. Okay, decision task if you want to add. So you want to add here path 1, path 2 like this. So if you are adding here, this equals. So 1 is here, 2 is here. But what is 2? 2 you have to take. Okay, so 2 you will not get 5 default. For that, you have to do some assignment task here. You assign it value 1, 2, 3, something. Okay, you have to have the assignment here. You assign the value. If it is 1, you put some condition here. In the assignments, you can put some conditions. Okay, so you take something from here, status. So I will tell you the assignment task. Okay. Later. This is what you are asking. Is it possible to add another addition task for a parallel task? Yeah, you can add this way. But as of now, it will take equals 1 here, otherwise here. It will not go to equals 2. So why? Because we do not have equals 2 here, right? Additions, it will have 1 or 2 only. But there you can add some addition task, some conditions. I will tell you, for an example, you want to check some date, system date. If it is month end, you have to go to this flow. If it is normal days, you have to go for this flow. So you can decide whether today's date is month end or not. Okay, month end you want to go for this one and this one. Okay, so try today. So how to take the month end? If you want to, uh, if you want to check by yourself, okay, take one decision. You want to go for this way or this way. Okay, try this one, but I will tell you, okay, how to take some conditions here. Okay, I will go to the next task flow. This is a task flow. So this is what normally we will use. Create control flow logic to run multiple data integration task. Okay. So normally in real-time project, you will go for task flow only. So why? Because if you go to task flow, whatever we have seen so far, everything will be available here. Okay. So everything will be available here. That's why. Okay. So this is my task flow one. Something like I'll make something like we will see the same task flow tomorrow also. Master task flow. I will take this way. Okay. Master task flow. So we'll be having start and end. In between, you can have multiple tasks. Okay. So for an example here, I told, right, we want to take one more task inside. You can go here. You can take this task. But you can take this task flow only, not linear task. Okay. Linear task. So in real time, we have definitely to create mapping task, task flow for completion of task with check validation. Yes. See, in real time project, definitely you'll have task, task flow. Okay. You will have task and task flow, not, we will not run mapping directly. Okay. Even we will not deploy mapping directly. We will put email, schedule, everything. So I'm just creating it. Task flow here. Task flow inside on task flow. This is called worklet. Okay, worklet. Then I'm taking something like the file watcher. So I will take file watcher. Okay, so file watch task. So we'll see the file watch task today. So what is this file watch task? So I will save this. It will be invalid only. File watcher. See here, I will go to the source file. Here I will check some file here. Okay, some file. Just I will take file name is touch file. Simply this touch file has, if it is available, that means we are good to run this particular flow. Okay, so we have to wait for that file. So open this file watch, but file watch, we have to create a file watch component. See here, there is no asset, right? So first we have to create a file watcher. Where should I create? Go to new components. So here we'll be having a file watcher, right? Yes. So we will create a file watcher. So create a listener that listens to file that arrive at a specific location to be used in mass ingestion task and other task. Okay, I will create here. So file listener. So touch file means handshake file. That's we are informing Informatica that. Okay, so we are good to proceed. So touch file one in this particular location. a runtime environment. Source type is, you can go for connectors. Okay. Status enabled. Connection type is flat, the location, local folder. It is not from any FTP or Amazon S3 or something. This one. Okay. So if you have anywhere in the file, you can place it file. The file might be there in your local folder, right? It's a Unix folder or FTP. Okay. SFTP, S3, Azure storage, Google Cloud Storage, Hadoop files. So all this. But now I have selected local folder. Okay, so local folder. If you select the local folder, it is asking the folder path. So sorry, I will select the folder path. Okay, this folder path. Wildcard, no, the exact indicator file. So what is the pattern of the file? It's a touch.txt. Touch.txt and check for files in subfolders. No. After the file you have seen, delete the file. Post action, delete the file. Why? Because it's a since it is touch file, right? Just to delete it. Notify when file arrives. Okay, so it will check for the file whether file has been arrived or not. So you'll be placing the file. Already file is available. If you're updating the file or deleting the file. Okay, so that you can go for. Stop checking if rules are met. After that, don't check it. Check for file stability. So daily you have to check. So you have to go for the state. Check until every 15 seconds. Okay, so 15 seconds is the minimum one. Continue to run on failure. Send a notification on failure. Continue to run on failure. If it is failed, you can go for next one. But I'm not selecting here. Just selecting this stability check 10 seconds. Okay, save this. Okay, where I'm making mandatory field. Okay, here list of email notification I have enabled, right? rediffmail.com. Okay, this time making this. Save this. So I just created one mail task. That's it. Sorry, listener, file listener I have selected, right? You can go to the master task flow. So here I will open this touch file one, select this. Okay, if the touch file arrives, then it will be succeeded. Otherwise, it will not be success. So event error handling, I will tell you. Events I will tell you later. But error handling, you know, right? If any errors, suspend the workflow, the task flow. So just time I have selected, save this. So what I will do, initially I will remove the file or I will put the file name is touch1.txt. So I'm going to start it, run. So it will wait for the file. You can go inside. You can check here. It should be started, but it is waiting. See here, it will wait. How long it will wait? Yes, it will wait. It is not completed, right? It is not completing. See here, it is waiting. Okay, I'm going to rename this file. That means touch file has been arrived. See this touch file also I can create it. I will tell you how to create. But this file should be deleted, right? You can see here, I'm not doing anything. The file will get deleted. Every 15 seconds it will check. That's what we have given, right? After 15 seconds, it should be deleted automatically. That means it is working fine. Okay, it has been deleted. If it is deleted, then it should be success. See here, it is running. Okay, so everything has been completed. You should be getting mail, all this. So file watcher, this is event wait related to Informatica Power Center. It is called event wait. But here, if you ask what is file watcher, say for an example, your source team sending you the file. Okay, SFTP. Once your source team has sent the file, you have to start the process. Okay, say for an example, you have scheduled our workflow like 7:30 a.m. Okay, 7:30 a.m. our task flow we have scheduled, but we have to check whether dependent table has been loaded or not. Even though we are scheduling at 7:30, we have to check whether source file has arrived or dependent table has been loaded or not. Once they have loaded the file, okay, our data, they will send us one touch file or indicator file or source file. So once it is arrived to the SFTP, then we can flow from here, right? We can continue from here. That's what we will place the file watcher. Are you clear? Okay. So we will stop here. So rest we will take only one file watcher we have completed, notification we have completed. So these three we have completed. Remaining we have sanitation also we have done, right? See, remaining we have that we will take it tomorrow. But this is what the task step. If you have any questions on these tasks, you can ask me now. Custom error handling, where you have seen in the file watch here. This is what you want to put some error handling. Yes, you can see this way, but I will tell you this one later. What is this? Normally you'll go for events. Okay, custom error handling means if anything errored out, what should I do here? Okay, so you have to open this and you have to do some logic here. If any error has happened, what you have to do? That you have to go for custom error handling. So any other questions? So practice all this. Okay. So we will see rest of the task step. Come on. What is wait? What is throw, jump? And what is the event? And we have the here we have command task and assignment task. These five we will see tomorrow. Okay. So file listener, mass ingestion task means mass ingestion. That's what mass ingestion. It will have we have something like continuous data is flowing, right? Streaming the data. Okay. Can we do start workflow from task if the task is failed? Task workflow from task. Yes, you want to run this one. You have to run it uh, from the monitor only. Okay, so you want to run it from here. Okay, if it is failing here, so you want to run it from here, you'll have an option. Okay, so if it is failed, then you'll have an option here. So from here, you have to run here. This is what the advanced flow. So how it is running. Not here. You'll have an option. Okay. If it is failed, you'll be having that in the flow itself, you'll be having, right? The task. So from here, you have to start. Which one is failed? So you have to go here, subtask. See here, you have to run, restart. Okay. But workflow from task, we do not have. We have to run from this one only. Okay. Yeah, we will take rest of the topics tomorrow and I will explain. Okay. We'll stop here. I will send you the recording. Please practice this. We will take rest of the topics tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow.